Hi, I'm Jamin.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Umar Hafiz bin Sutafi.
Hi, my name is Maisara.
Hi, I'm Irina.
Hi, Assalamualaikum guys, I'm Masita and we are on the Nature by Bread Show. So hi guys, I hope you are in a good mood today because it's a good day to have a good day. So today we are sharing with you guys about our own product, which is bread produced by the Nature Bites company. So do you guys have any idea about bread? Do you guys know what is bread? So if not, it's okay because later on my friend will bring you guys to our factory where we produce our bread. And without further ado, I will pass to one of my cute friends, which is Jamil, for the introduction of bread.
Thank you, Miss Masita, for asking me this question. I will explain a bit about the information and history of bread. Bread is one of the products that apply microorganisms that we can find in our daily life. We eat the bread almost every day, but there is much knowledge that we don't know. The main ingredients used to make bread are water and flour. The microorganisms, which act as fermenters, will be added to increase the shelf life and the texture of bread. We eat the bread almost every day, but do you know who made the first bread? I think most of you don't know, right? Never mind, let me tell you. Based on the research, we believe that the bread were accidentally created by prehistoric men. This is because they are able to make the dough from water and grains. The first evidence of bread comes from archaeological findings that are 30,000 years ago and date from the Upper Paleolithic in Europe. In that era, bread cannot be said as a main food, as Paleolithic European diets were based mainly on animal proteins and fats at that time. Around 10,000 years ago, during the Neolithic, bread gradually became the staple food, with transfer from the time of hunting and gathering to the time of farming. In ancient times, the first complex bread baking method was born. One of them is fermentation. The fermenters used at that time are sourdough, foam skim from beer, and paste composed of grapes. Nowadays, the manufacturing process of bread has become much easier and faster. There are more tastes to be chosen by the consumers and more nutrients we can obtain from bread. The bread contains a high percentage of carbohydrates, and it also provides other forms of nutrients. For example, protein, fat, B vitamins, iron, and calcium. These nutrients play different roles in helping humans to develop the growth, but they are equally vital. The carbohydrates provide energy that we need daily. Protein helps in body growth and tissue repairment. Vitamin B helps to maintain good health and well-being. Iron helps in synthesis of red blood cells, and this will help in oxygen transportation. Lastly, calcium is essential in forming healthy teeth and bones. That's all for my answer, and I will pass back to Miss Masita.
So thank you Jamil for the introduction. So is it interesting? Do you guys want to know more? If you guys want to know more, let's go back to the factory because my friend Irina was waiting for you guys to explain about the principle of microorganism of bread.
So for today, I will explain on principle of microorganism of bread. As we all know, the word fermentation always related to microorganisms. Let's learn how the fermentation works. We start with combining all the flour, water, salt and yeast. Through this, we will learn how vital dough fermentation is and delve into science of bread creation. Unfortunately, most bakers will be utterly unaware of this fact. Fortunately, once we took the effort to figure out what's going on, the quality of the bread improved dramatically. From this, we will understand better on how bread fermentation works and why is it essential in producing consistently high quality bread. Besides, there are some explanation on how flour is broken down during the dough making process to build the gluten structure and give food for the yeast, among other things. The yeast fermentation process begins as soon as the yeast comes into contact with the flour and water mixture. Simple sugars are formed due to the breakdown of the hydrated carbohydrates. This sugar will provide the yeast with the food, which will allow it to respire both aerobically and anaerobically. When yeast respires, carbon dioxide is the most closely connected to it because it expands the pocket of gluten in the bread, causing it to rise.
So thank you, Irina, for your great explanation. By the way, I know you guys must be curious how to make a delicious bread like our bread, right? I also wondering, is it the process is difficult or complicated? But don't worry, I have one friend to share with us about how to make a bread. So I think my Sarah is ready to spill the tea about our secret ingredient to make a bread.
Thank you, Miss Masita. So now, I'll be sharing with you guys about how to reproduce the bread. So, let's get started. So, the first step in producing bread is getting the ingredients. The purpose of doing this step is to make sure that patrons will get the same taste of the bread every time they visit to the bakery and to keep the quality of the product. It is important as the customer will seek for the consistency of taste of the bread, and because of the consistency they deliver to the customers, the bakery will become well known and well loved. The next step is mixing the yeast into the mixture of the bread. Yeast is the most important ingredient in the bread making as it creates the carbon dioxide as well as the alcohol, which evaporates while the bread bakes. And it is in the development and strengthening of the gluten network. After mixing, dough will be left in few hours before performing the next step, as it is to ensure there is ferment sugar to make carbon dioxide and alcohol. This process will help in fermentation of breads, also generates aromatic organic compounds, which enhance the flavor of the bread goods. Other metabolites of fermentation, such as aldehyde and ketones, contribute to the flavor of dough or bread created with yeast as a leavening agent. After the mixture is lifted and spanned, the next step is divide and punch down the dough. It is important to punch it down after the first rise, and is to prevent it from the overproofing. Bread that has been overproofed is dense and unable to maintain the gas bubbles that are necessary for the loaf structure. As the punching down is a common bread baking procedure that is required for practically every yeast bread created, it helps the dough deflate and release the air, allowing you to knead and mold it into loaf or other forms so the variety shapes of the bread can be made. Furthermore, folding over is the next step after punching down the dough. Degassing bread dough can also be accomplished by folding the dough. The texture created by these two processes is the most prominent variation between them. Punching down the dough results in fine, tight crumb with a little air spaces. When you fold dough, you get a light, airy crumb with a lot of air pockets. But not least, the last step in making bread is bake the dough using the oven with the right temperature. It is important that we keep the dough temperature high and steady throughout the baking process, as one of the main contributors to strong fermentation is temperature. Bread can be baked at a variety of temperature, but most fall between 325 and 500 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 162 to 260 degrees Celsius. So I hope all the explanation has helped you to make a good quality of the bread. Go and try it. Thank you.
So, do you guys had a chance to list down the secret ingredient how to make a bread? If not, it's okay because after this, you guys can try out the latest flavor and get to know the application of bread. Usually, people use bread for making sandwiches, homemade pizza, and also as a dessert such as bread pudding. As technology become more advanced, there is various type of bread and flavor was produced in Nature Bites company as requested by our customer whom are want to have a delicious and healthy bread in a real quick time. As well, some children and young people nowadays find it difficult to eat bread because they are bored with the common variety. So in Nature Bites company, we provide many types of flavor which can attract the whole generation to try out our latest flavor such as chocolate chip, chocolate mocha, black forest and many more. Moreover, for people who like to eat spicy food, we also provide flavor like spicy chicken curry, spicy anchovy and spicy chicken floss. By the way, we also provide healthy breads such as multi-grain bread, whole wheat bread and whole grain bread, which this bread not only aim on people who are in diet but also for people who have a problem like diabetes, hypertension and others. In fact, this healthy bread can help us to control blood sugar levels, lower cholesterol levels, maintain a healthy weight and maintain a good digestive system. So this is why bread has become staple food at the Middle East, Central Asia, North Africa and even at European countries. Wow, what a long list of flavor that Nature Bites has provided. So I think I want to have some drink, but don't worry, after this, the only Mr. in my group, which is Mr. I, will share with you guys about the benefits of bread.
Thank you, Masita. So, my name is Muhammad Afi bin Zulkafli, PA 21056. I will tell you about the benefit of the bread. For many people, bread is a pantry staple. They almost always have it on hand, using it in any meal throughout the day. Whether you toast it, make sandwich or transform it in different recipes. So, you may find yourself asking, is bread healthy? So, I will share you about the benefit of the bread to our health. Firstly, bread contains fiber. Different bread products contain varying amounts of fiber, but you can generally find at least 1 gram per serving. And this is an essential nutrient to eat every day. Many know fiber for keeping your digestive system moving, but it does more than that. When you eat fiber, it can help you. Firstly, you feel fuller. When your body works to break down food containing fiber, you will feel fuller longer. That could help you avoid overeating in one sitting or eating too much throughout the day. Some types of fiber that have this effect can even help you lose weight. Then, fiber also manages blood sugar. Foods high in fiber often have a lower glycemic index, a ranking that reflects how food affects blood sugar. With a lower GI, certain foods that are high in fiber like some bread products can help reduce blood sugar spikes after a meal that's high in carbs. Then, the benefit of bread is bread has a prebiotic effect. Our bodies contain beneficial bacteria known as probiotics. These are sometimes called good gut bacteria, and they protect our digestive system and bodies from things like harmful bacteria and fungi. Probiotics consume prebiotics, which often come from carbs and fiber that we can get by eating bread and bread products. When you eat bread products with fiber and carbs, the probiotic consume those nutrients and continue maintaining your body's healthy balance. And it is important to keep that good bacteria fed. A study concerning gut bacteria's role in our health found that probiotics help our immune system function, address obesity and improve depression system, among other benefits. It's essential then to introduce beneficial bacteria to your system and to feed that bacteria probiotic as well. Lastly, bread can decrease the risk of cancer. According to the American Institute for Cancer Research, AICR, there is probably evidence that whole grains and foods with dietary fiber can decrease the risk of colorectal cancer. The AICR explained this discovery as strong research showing a relationship between them. So that's all the benefit of bread. Thank you.
Hi guys, we meet again at the studio. So, do you guys enjoy taking a walk at the factory? By the way, I want to add some point from what Mr. I explained just now. As we know that bread are rich in carbohydrate which are crucial and become a part of our diet as they provide us with energy. Other than that, bread also contains essential nutrient, dietary fiber and phytochemical. So you guys must be wondering, what is phytochemical? So phytochemical are compounds that are produced by plants such as fruits, vegetables, grains and other plants. So some scientists believe that if we consume food containing phytochemical, it can reduce our cancer risk up to 40%, and research has shown that phytochemical not only prevent the formation of cancer in our bodies, but it also helps us to prevent the carcinogen from attacking our cells and eradicating any cancer-like changes in our body. So for people who believe they have no time for healthy eating, will eventually have to make time for illness. So it was a long journey for you guys today, right? So I hope you guys gain some knowledge from our video and you guys can share with your friend about our brand. So thank you for watching our video. Have a nice day. Bye.